Hey guys, Ben Jenkins, founder, design director, and CEO at Warstic. Today, I'm gonna let my buddy Shawn interrogate me about the history and current trends of color on metal baseball bats. Something like that. But we're gonna have fun today and talk about some nerdy design stuff, specifically focused on metal bats and just color theory and all these kind of things. One of the big questions we get quite often is what?
I think the question that we get is, why do we not change the Bonesaber color every year?
That's the question I was thinking of, Shawn. Way to go.
Thank you.
Well, I'm a little bit stubborn, but I'm also, after my baseball career, I'm a designer, and I have a lot of theories about design and why certain things work and why they don't. I mean, this isn't a new trend at all, but to change the color of your metal baseball bat every, let's call it cycle, whether it's 1 year or 2 years or whatever, is super common, to the point where it's basically expected. Like, hey, my new iteration of this bat is coming out, I'm gonna change the color. Why? I think it's done to add newness, intrigue. There's this theory that it would sell more bats because it feels newer and shinier and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And that's great. I can't necessarily dispute that that does not occur in human brains, especially kids. The thing for me is, I would rather create something timeless and iconic. Iconic being kind of the key word, right? Like, we'll talk about Bonesaber. Why I don't change the color? I would say because I feel like it is on its way to being iconic. You can't just say something's iconic. You have to come up with something unique, and then you have to be consistent with it.
So then, from a design perspective, what makes a product iconic?
I think frankly part of it is, it just has to be around a long time. We were talking today over bacon and eggs about kind of the Jordan shoe phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
To me, what's fascinating about that is that I can ask you, I can ask really anybody in any age, the shoe look never goes away. And when I say the shoe, you know what I mean, right? Yeah. There's all kinds of limited edition runs on Jordan shoes. I'm not even a shoe guy, so I'm gonna sound stupid, but what is the iconic Jordan shoe? What is it? What are the colors?
Yeah, when you think of the iconic Jordan shoe, you think red and black.
Yeah, like the red, black, and white thing that we saw with Michael Jordan and the Bulls. So powerful at the time, very different, so simple but striking, so imprinted over and over and over and over and over, and that being the trick, that it became iconic. So no matter how many limited drops they do, no one's gonna ever beat the icon. And that's something to achieve when it comes to design in my mind. Iconic can mean recognized, memorable. I hate to be cliche branding guy, but like, there's a reason Coca-Cola doesn't change their red and white can.
Yeah.
Don't think that would be smart. There's just a comfort to the recognizability and the familiarity of that.
So what are the most iconic looks or designs in sports that you've seen?
Iconic isn't necessarily about subjectively great or bad design, but like when I think about sports, like uniforms, like my family can't stand to watch, like especially like football with me. I love football, but I can't stop looking at the uniforms. Either it's like, oh, I see that uniform and I want to fix it, or I want to make it better, or oh, they ruined it. I'm that guy. So my son is just like, can you shut up? And I'm like, not really. Like, who's winning? I'm like, the uniforms are better. One thing that I think people could think about is, iconic is powerful. It's intimidating. I mean, I would say Yankees, pinstripes. I mean, is that design brilliant? I mean, I think it's more that it's consistent over time. They never change those pinstripes and that classic look. It is clean, it's great, but it's not anything crazy. It's just that it's consistently over a century or more been synonymous with kicking your ass. But if I got called up and I got to play against the Yankees, I hope to God they wear their City Connect uniforms, because I'll be way less intimidated to play that game.
Yeah.
But when those guys walk out in the pinstripes, there's gonna be some nerves come out, because I'm playing now against the history of that iconic look and feel, which is attached to domination. Like, I get all the fun of City Connect and all that kind of stuff, and it's nothing wrong with having creativity, and I love when we do stuff connected to Mother's Day, breast cancer awareness, all that stuff. It's all super important. So I'm not knocking it, but the reality is none of that will ever beat the iconic nature of things that have been established over, honestly, in baseball, a century. Dodgers uniforms, come on. I mean, we can debate whether the numbers should be red or not, but like, every year that goes by it gets a little stronger. If you have that and you're a sports franchise, I mean, we're in Dallas. Cowboys are the most valuable franchise on the planet, I think.
Yeah.
Despite what you think of them or what I think about them. Love Cowboys. And I'm not a particular big fan of their uniforms, but they're completely, astronomically, no doubt about it, iconic. When they come out and they look like the Cowboys, you know who they are. you know? And I think that's kind of what I hope to create in design. I'd love to create some things in my career. When I'm dead, hopefully in a long time, people look at it and go, man, like that's the iconic this and that, right? To me as a designer, that's kind of the fun of it. But it's like a long haul. So you're just kind of working every day to kind of see if you can come up with something that might stand the test of time. But at the same time, new and fresh and different. So that's tough. You know,
yeah, it's a hard balance.
We're all inspired by other people. We're all inspired by all kinds of things. So it's hard to be original and on trend or whatever it may be, but like that's a challenge that I just really enjoy. But I think to me, it's always about, in 10 years, will this look not look dated? Looking dated too fast never turned out well. Just gonna leave it there.
What would you say are the most iconic metal bats of all time?
I actually wanted to talk about one of my favorite bats of all time when it comes to that. I'm old enough that like back in my day, I didn't know that it was, I think it was called a B5. I just knew it as the Easton bat, the green Easton, right?
Yeah.
Is this like great, crazy design? It's subjective, right? Design's subjective, but like it's simple. This is a pure raw aluminum bat with some really clean, solid green decals. There's nothing crazy about this design, but the fact that this was one of the only bats around over years and years and years, it became iconic, right? And so it had power to it. So I could see why there could be thoughts towards bringing it back. That's a whole different video. But I think when I was a senior in high school, I had grown up with that bat, and I thought this was one of the most genius creative plays in sporting goods history right here. They came out with the Easton Black Magic. Was it a really different technology? No, back then we didn't even know what that meant. But what I think was so genius was, that was so iconic that this did become fresh and new, but I think this may have been the first time that someone like gave a bat like a kick-ass identity. Like Black Magic, it was almost like voodoo or something like that. Like this grabbed everybody's attention, and I hit 12 homers with it. This actually is my high school bat. It's actually still standing. This probably, among everything is in design of baseball bats, is like, to me, it's like the icon. Like to try to repeat this, pretty hard. Creating something iconic can also, you know, it can create a challenge down the road.
From a design perspective, what is the importance of scarcity?
We actually will do small runs and small batches of Bonesabers, for instance, in certain colors. So like over the years, we've done a run of gold Bonesabers. Of course, our Black Cobra Bonesabers we'll do once a year, and they kill it because you flip that white to black and it's strong,
yeah.
Right? Another one that we did, like last year we did the red, white, and blue. We call this the Lone Star because it was actually kind of more inspired by our favorite home baseball team and state and things like that. There's just a nostalgic feel about it that this thing was really popular for a lot of people, but this isn't perpetual. Like I can't do this the rest of my life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We actually did, like the Tropic Thunder was really good, right? Totally trendy, totally vibing on what's going on right now and that kind of thing. But I think more important than the limited edition drops is to talk about that they're limited for a reason. We have an iconic look. It's the thing you know and love. When you do a limited drop, I think it's very important, just like Jordan taught us, like Nike geniusly taught us, is when they come out with a new drop, they don't make as many as you want. The value in it is that there is true scarcity there. I mean, honestly, this is a great example. As it tempting is to make a bazillion of these, I don't feel good about that. It's kind of what's the next one to make. So that's where collectability comes from.
Well, it's something that we also talked about before this, is that when you have something that is iconic, one aspect of that is the recognizability. The other side of that is setting a baseline.
Yeah.
And so that if you have that baseline that people recognize, then you can actually make something that's coveted and play off of that.
I mean, it's right next to you. So I think just forget even the baseline color. Well, off-white, bone, cream, natural, whatever you want to call it, it's a great baseline to put color and add to it. And then the graphics are consistent enough. You recognize this as a Bonesaber instantly, despite the fact that it lacks the bone color, right? So I think that just points back to consistency within design, repeating, and trying to freshen up. I'll super nerd out. Starbucks logo, like it's ingrained in your mind. I don't care who you are, it is ingrained in your mind. Well, if you actually look at the history of a Starbucks logo, it has evolved over time, but it's always remained consistent to what it originally was. That's why it's so strong now. Like it's just, that's why it's so imprinted in your brain. You can't get it out now. So yeah, it's kind of about consistency.
Why did you choose bone as the colorway for the Bonesaber?
It may sound crazy, but like, I hate white. I think white is, it just looks unfinished to me. Like in nature and all kinds of things, I hate white. Besides Warstic, I don't own anything white. I like more natural version of nature's white. I mean, I came up with the name first. I just was thinking about the natural wood color. A lot of our major league players play with a raw bat because it's like, honestly, the way to get like a very dense bat is just like no paint, no stain, no color, no nothing, and it's very natural. I want to do something a little prettier than that. So my version of that, which we had done in wood bats for a long time, was like our Navajo bone white. As nerdy as it sounds, like I worked on this off-white, dirty white, California white, I call it, for like a long time until it's like, to me, like the perfect thing, super nerdy about that. To me, it was just perfect color for what the bat was. The Bonesaber, bleached out, like bones laying in the sand kind of color. I could honestly drink this almost like soup because to me, like, it's the most pretty color on earth. To prove that, like, we've stuck with it, this is actually circa 2019. This is the look of the Bonesaber. This is the color. There's actually, if someone wants to find it on the internet, there's one before this, not many people know about. It's still very similar. It had like a sword shape on it and stuff like that. But like, this was actually version 2. Crazy different here. You know, like version 3. I'm really just playing with the logo and the font. This is actually version 4, which became very, very mainstream and popular.
Yeah.
Now we're on to, I guess this 2025 look is actually version 5. As you can see, I'm not changing the color. I think it's recognized, it's known. People see the color and they think Bonesaber. At this point, that many impressions. I just think the consistency is important and it becomes more valuable over time. People could also position that that's boring, and I'm totally fine with that. It may sound crazy to think that I'm sitting here saying, you know, we only make white, gray, and black bats, which is what we're gonna do. Room full of 20 people, show of hands, what color car do you have?
I have a silver car.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The other two that you're gonna get most often,
Black and white.
yeah. So you're gonna get black cars, white cars, silver cars, because it never gets old, you never get sick of them. It's not necessarily for me that my car color is trying to show off my exuberant personality, but then there's a guy or girl that's got a purple car, or a red car, or a green car. By no means are we gonna make the majority of people's tastes go towards those things, but that's not to say that trends and fads don't happen. And we're going through a really crazy time right now, especially in metal bats and really baseball gear in general, about like crazy trends and fads, you know what I mean? I lived through the 80s, so I can pretty confidently say that like the 80s are here right now. The 80s was very different from the 70s. Our 70s was like, this is a great 70s kind of look right here, like super natural, you know, browns and oranges and reds and natural sunsets and deserts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then someone said, I'm sick of this. And that person somehow was influential, and they created new color palettes, and that's where trends and fads come from. And they did it enough that another person caught up and they said, oh, I want to be cool like that person. So your pinks and your neon greens and your neon yellows and all the stuff that we know that's going on right now, like this, that might be coming out soon. Is it my cup of tea? Not really, but I love that kids will love this right now. But what I don't like is choosing that for that kid.
So why do we have the metal bat customizer?
To me, I like the limited runs, that's cool, but I do feel like I'm picking colors for people and chasing trends and fads and all this kind of stuff. I think what's cool about pure customization, where you can go on our website and like, okay, I got that Bonesaber, I need a 33. Like, I am totally like metallic electric blue guy. That's that person's personal choice, personal style, no different than like my car. Like if that's him, that's him. Yeah. Offering this has been cool because it takes that baseline and then it offers like that personalization to you. And really with all the colors and combinations that you can get with decals, like you're not gonna get a total one-off, but you're getting a lot closer to it. And if you wanna make something ugly, that's your choice. So if you wanna add your personal flair and style to that, I provided all the colors on God's green earth in the customizer, even though I'm known for hating purple. Like I hate it, I don't know why God made it, but there's some people that want it, and you can have it.
Something else we talked about was we have a lot of people that make a lot of different color combinations and color variations. Do you do anything with that data once we see what people are buying?
Yes, that's a great point. The word crowdsourcing has kind of come to mind. I mean, there's a lot of colors. I think there's 50, 60 different colors and solids and fades and this and that, metallics. We didn't really plan this, but what's happening in the customizer is by what people buy, we can obviously collect the data about what they're buying the most. Well, the reason like this might exist is right now, this has been the most popular color choice. That tells us it might make sense to do a little bit more mass production run. Still limited, but much more mass production than like the ninja guys in the shop can do, because these are really hand painted. So that customization informs what those limited drops. So that's cool because like as customers, you can kind of be connected to what we might drop. It's not just me deciding. Like I'm getting those from you because I'm super egocentric designer that usually likes to pick everything. And it's cool to go like, oh man, everybody's liking this, let's do that. It's cool because I'm really interested in the trend that's going on towards being different. And I'm not knocking it, but it can't last forever because the more and more I think your pink bat is cool and I do it and then my buddy does it, the less individualistic we become.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of vibing on who's that kid out there that's gonna get sick of the 80s? What's next? It's just fun to think about. I can't predict it. Historical trends would tell me maybe it's a revolt of all those colors. And then now all of a sudden I look different because I'm not doing those. I don't think we're super close to that, but like I'm like vibing on where is that going. Like actually I was eyeballing this blacked out bat right here is really sticking out to me. Like I want this. It sticks out because it's not on trend right now. I can tell you that the most second popular color in the customizer is actually pretty shocking to me. Like the baby blues is definitely popular. The electric blues are popular. Some of the neon greens and stuff like that. But literally the second most popular behind cotton candy, and you're welcome competitors in the industry, I could be wrong, so don't trust me, is like black and red. Like straight up, what's black and red that everybody likes? I don't even know, like Darth Maul. Black and red is like, it's so not the trend of the 80s. That's what's interesting about what's happening there. And I'm not influencing what kids are buying there. I have a sophomore in high school and he can pull off the pinks and the yellows and the greens and all that kind of stuff. For his high school bat this year, he picked like a tobacco stain. And I'm like, you are my kid. It's like straight up like Fender guitar, sunburst stain kind of thing. Very natural, all that kind of stuff. So,
Back to the 70s.
I don't know what he's thinking, but I'm like, it's your bat. And I'm like, sick, let's do it. So as much as I like timelessness, iconic, giving people choices about their own colors, we do occasionally find reasons to make a bat that's pretty artistically over the top, that is meant to not just be cool, it could be for a cause, to raise money. Like actually this one,
Yeah.
this one was really cool because back when the fires were happening in Maui, we kind of pulled together some of our famous rock star fans. This bat is built towards this guy and he graciously signed them and we raised a ton of money to like send to Maui. So like there's a reason like the theme of the bat is the theme of the bat. It happened and there was 200 of them and they're gone. The other thing that's cool is like, especially with our NIL players, like I hate to say I have a favorite, but I do. We have Aloy at Arkansas, just the coolest dude ever, tremendous player, but just like awesome human from Hawaii. This Hawaii 5.0 bat is completely inspired by just him and just having fun, man. Yeah. And I did like Magnum PI quite a bit. But like that's a lot of fun to see that built for him, played with on TV, and then, you know, something that people can collect. The crazier one is like the dragon design. This is just something I did like to celebrate Year of the Dragon. He just liked it. And I was like, well, you know, we could make you one and you could swing it in a game. And he's like, I'm in. He did it the entire season. He swung a dragon bat. He's just that guy. He's like, I can do it. I can be good enough to swing a freaking dragon bat and beat you with it. So much so that he kept repeating it and the announcers, like he did a homer and the announcers would go, dragon got him. So it's just fun. But like, I do think there's occasions to get crazier when they are connected to like something, a person, a cause, an event, some reason to do it. And then that's where the art comes from. It's like, what are we celebrating here? Kind of thing, so.
All right, I think that's good. We covered everything about the metal bat customizer, but also why we designed the Bonesaber this way.
Why we're
with
so
color.
boring. Yeah, I get it. I'm fine with it because it works. But
Timeless.
It's timeless, it's classic, it's clean. Before we sign off, you know who can recognize clean? A 9-year-old kid, a 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid. Like I never get sick of a 10-year-old looking at something we made and going, that's clean. I know exactly what it means, he knows what he means, he gets it, he feels it, and it's like, that's when you know you got it right. So keep it clean. I think that's enough design nerdy talk and enough interrogation of me. Then we'll just look forward to making more clean looking products, keeping it classy. Peace out.
Love it. Thanks for watching.